Seniors Kevin Finn, 18, and Sarah Elbeshbishi, 18, are co-editors of The Current, the student newspaper at Watkins Mill High School in Gaithersburg, MD. Jade Pinkowitz, the Watkins Mill High School Current. It's strange how the past keeps creeping up on us these days. Of course, sometimes it doesn't creep. Sometimes you have to pull it out of hiding. That's what Sarah Elbeshbishi and Kevin Finn did. As co-editors of The Current, the school newspaper at Watkins Mill High in Gaithersburg, MD, the two are more accustomed to writing about the 21st century than the 18th and 19th. But when their advisor, Sarah Goodman Confino, suggested a suddenly timely topic, they got to work. This month, they published the results of their research. 3 of Montgomery County's public high schools are named after people who owned other people. In their article, they wrote, "Census records for Col. Zadok McGruder show him owning 26 slaves in 1790, and the application for his home, the Ridge, to become a historic site in Maryland details the slave quarters of the house." Thomas Sprague Wooden is documented as inheriting slaves from his father and leaving slaves and land to his nephew. The third, that was the big surprise for them. It was Richard Montgomery, the namesake of the county and of a high school in Rockville. Montgomery was born in Ireland, immigrated to New York and died in 1775 during the Revolutionary War without ever visiting the county. He became a slave owner when he married into his wife's slave-owning family, the Livingstons. You might think that teens today get all of their information from Google. But the Current editors went far beyond that, consulting pre-Civil War census records, poring over books and contacting experts. "We emailed about 3 different historians about Richard Montgomery to make sure we were correct about him owning slaves," Sarah said. "It was very important that we weren't relating any false information. Montgomery was an interesting case. Maryland was a slave state, of course, but New York." Historian Gene Prochnow told them that 12% of that state's population was enslaved during the American Revolution. Montgomery's involvement with slavery had been obscured over the years. An 1876 biography indicated that upon his death, he left his shares to his wife. Sarah and Kevin contacted the Princeton University Library, where Montgomery's will is housed. The original document doesn't say shares they learned. It says slaves. Sarah and Kevin learned that some historians believe the mistake was an honest one. Others see it as deliberate misdirection to rehabilitate the hero. You might say, who cares about any of this? Confederate statues, Confederate flags, human chattel owning founding fathers? The past is the past, right? The co-editors disagree. As a newspaper for a school that prides itself on diversity, and a county that prides itself on diversity, we thought this type of information should at least be known by the student body and the public, Kevin said. Sarah, "We also pride ourselves on covering as much as we can in the community. We want to get as much information out there as we can. That's especially true in today's climate," they said, in which Charlottesville has become shorthand for battles both figurative and literal over how we come to terms with our nation's history. Their article offered no suggestions on that front, and The Current didn't include a separate editorial staking out a position. "I don't want to necessarily put my spin or opinion on it," Sarah said. "We tried to stay completely balanced in our article. The point of it wasn't to enact change. It was just merely to get this information that isn't that well known out there." Kevin came to a different conclusion. "I definitely think it should be addressed, but I'm not sure how," he said. The pair are both 18-year-old seniors who live in Montgomery Village. In the fall, Kevin will be going to Wilson College in Pennsylvania to study sports medicine. Sarah will attend the University of Maryland and study journalism. I had to ask, did they investigate their own school, Watkins Mill? Yes. It's named after Levi Watkins, they said, who bought the mill in the 1880s. Though the mill dates to the 1700s and could have been built by slaves, Watkins took over after the Civil War. They found no evidence that he ever owned slaves. Said Sarah, "We didn't want to be hypocrites." Here's another area reunion, Suitland Senior High Class of 1958, September 22. For information, call Jack Woods at 540-663-3256. Twitter, @JohnKelly. For previous columns, visit WashingtonPost.com/people/John-Kelly.